AI. Ever heard of it? Okay, I know this is not your first rodeo with thinking about how AI can help you reach more people, grow your business, live your dream life as a coach, consultant, or expert. And there are so many other videos out here that can tell you how to hack the algorithm and grow your business in a few seconds. And part of those things are definitely true. It's possible. But for so many of us who have more mission driven or heart centered businesses, it doesn't mean that just because we can do it, that we should do it. So AI can do cool things. I use it every single day in my life, but I don't want you to fall into the trap of thinking that it will save your business, because I'm starting to hear that from coaches, consultants, and experts. I'm Hannah. I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, where we help those people enroll an additional 3 to 10 high-ticket clients every single month using our systems for client acquisition and sales. So, of course, people are talking to me about AI. And I typically see these folks that we work with falling into one of two camps. The first camp is someone who uses AI as their research department, or their virtual assistant, or their COO, or their sounding board, or their person to, kind of like their virtual assistant to send emails or communicate with potential clients, for example. And then the second camp of these coaches, consultants, and experts are the ones who are avoiding AI like vegan cheese because you don't know how, you don't believe it's going to be any good, and it definitely doesn't sound like you. It is just not the real thing when comparing to human connection or actually building relationships online. And so I'm someone who does relate to both of those camps. I want to be authentic, and I know that human relationships are the best way to sell, but I also want to be efficient and productive and not waste my time doing things that robots could be doing for me. So today I want to take off my usual teacher cap and really get on the same side of the table as you and be more of your biz bestie and honestly show you where I'm using AI and where I'm definitely not using AI in my day-to-day life and growing our 7-figure company online. So in this video, I'm going to show you a not so sexy Google document so you can see exactly what this looks like in our day-to-day so that you can start using AI in a way that makes sense for you to get closer to your North Star. Because again, all these other ideas and these gurus, they want to sell you on this idea that just having $1 million business or having 1 million followers is the goal. But for so many of the people that I talk to, they're looking for more intimate, more person-to-person, and more authentic connection in the age of AI. So if that is you, I would love to invite you to subscribe because I'm on a mission to get this information to more real world changers and the thought leaders that I know the next paradigm is going to need. And so if that is you, go ahead and subscribe so you can get more of these videos and you can keep implementing week in and week out right alongside of us here at Dream Life Consulting. So hit subscribe, go get your notebook, and let's talk robots in my Google Doc. All right, I don't know about you, but I am the type of person who wants the bad news first. Give me the bad news before the good news. And so that is where we're going to start. I do not mean to burst your bubble, but I do want to outline some of the things to avoid because right now there are so many tantalizing and exciting and sexy ideas going around the business communities of things that AI can do. But just like you and your energy, just because you can do something does not mean you should, right? And so, I'm hearing people say, AI can write your business plans and become your marketer and even your photographer because they're like generating AI images of themselves. And so I just want to talk through the things that you might be considering that I personally advise against and am avoiding myself as we scale our 7-figure coaching and consulting company. And the first one is around content. So proofreading and copywriting. Again, this is one of the things that AI can do at a basic level, just like you can dye your hair pink, right? You can do that, but should you, right? So AI can help you clean up your grammar, fix your punctuation, and even crank out an old school 1,000-word blog post in 20 seconds. Cool. great. But if your strategy is, let me have AI write all of my content and call it a day and just leave it to the robots to create inspiring posts that I'm going to share Monday through Sunday, then you're missing the point. Nobody is hiring you for your perfect commas or your hot takes or your pink hair or just another article about how important it is to invest in a coach. People hire you for results. They're hiring you for the outcomes you create. We see people, everyday average people who don't necessarily think that they need a high performance coach, hiring our clients for $3,000, $5,000, even $15,000 to work with these people because the buyers can see that the coach is going to get them to a dream outcome, that they are working to achieve something. So this is not just about, is AI able to do it? It's about your marketing strategy needs to be about the stuff people are looking for. And if you're gonna go into AI and say, okay, here are all the reasons why I'm amazing, here are all of the things I want my people to know, help me put together a marketing campaign, chat is not going to be able to connect your ideas to an actual buyer, right? Chat can give you lots of ideas. It can stroke your ego. It can proofread your sentences, right? I use AI to help me proofread things that I have already written because I, as a human, am the one who knows who's actually going to read it and what's actually going to get people to open their minds and their wallets to me. AI does not know the human psychology required for writing content that converts. And if you're watching this video, I hope you're thinking about writing content, not just for the sake of looking cute on the internet, but for the sake of converting that content into clients. And I talk a lot about this. I personally used to be a copywriter before AI took over that job. And so if you're interested in how we convert clients in 2025 and beyond, then click the link below. There's a 50-minute walkthrough that shows you our client acquisition system, and it does not rely on AI making content. We're going to get to how we do use AI, don't worry. But on this note, the other thing that I encourage you to just avoid, like that vegan cheese, is just generating stuff. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. You're creating these images of yourself in business outfits. You're creating another free ebook and more worksheets that you can just pump out now, right? The little cute journals you used to dream of having be a stream of income for you, just like me, right? I wanted to have some graphic organized journal to get your dream life to be your real life. Oh my gosh, I could go have AI do that yesterday. But should I? Because what I'm talking about here is creating AI images for your social media posts, creating something else that just looks pretty so you can put templates or downloads or PDFs or ebooks or pitch decks, like all these things. Yes, you can create all of these things, but who is it for? This is the big question that we need to be asking. Just because we can take actions and create more things, what is the strategy? How does this connect to converting clients? So I get it, making this content can be fun for you, and it might even make you feel like you're being productive, and maybe it makes you feel more confident, like, look, I'm a published author, or some other title that we're always chasing, thinking, if I just have a book, if I just have a quiz, if I just make them jump through this pretty hoop, then they will invest high ticket. But as someone who has tried that for 7+ years before figuring out what actually works, I want you to avoid my pain. I know it's not going to take you 7 years because you're smart enough to be here on this video and because we have tools like AI today. But I need you to be asking yourself, as the CEO, as a business owner and coach, what is the point of pouring your genius and your wisdom into all of these things if no one's even paying attention? I know that graveyard of freebies that is on your desktop, the quizzes, the webinars, the handouts that you've created, that nobody came over and said, here's $5,000, I love your handout so much. So we need to be thinking first about audience. Who is this actually for? So if you don't have a big audience yet and no paying clients, you really don't need to be focusing on generating anything other than money. Money is what you need, not cute Canva things. Okay, So I wanted to get that bad news out, but I also hope that there's some relief in that bad news, because I talk to coaches all of the time who are spending 45 minutes per day creating an Instagram reel that goes to 3 of the same people every single time. And then they wonder why they are burned out. And it's like, because you're pouring all this genius into the internet, you're using all of these sexy marketing tools, but you're not getting results, okay? So changing gears a little bit here. It's not that AI can't help you get to what you want, but it's about using AI in the right ways. So my business partner, Ore, and I have done a lot of testing over the past few years, and we've gone through lots of trial and error to figure out what really works. That's why I can tell you, I know what it feels like to have a graveyard of webinars, because I did too. So we looked at using AI for conversion, for converting high ticket clients online. And once we built out a client acquisition system, again, I have that video linked below if you want to see how the full system, we realized how AI could fit into a client acquisition system, okay? So we built something that was proven to convert, and then we started looking at how can AI help us do more of what's working. And that question, not can AI make me look pretty, can AI post more content for me, but rather how can AI do more of what's working for me, is what helped us scale our business from 12K months to 50K cash collected, and then to 112 and 114 months, right? Even days. And so it really felt like we were starting to print money when we started to apply AI to the proven system we already had. So if you are wanting these kinds of results, to see all of these clients coming in while you're not chained to your laptop pushing all of the buttons, then let's talk about the 2 things that we're using at Dream Life Consulting with AI in our business, and this is what we teach our clients to do as well, so they can start generating 3 to 10 consistent, predictable, high-ticket clients every single month. Number 1, numero uno, for my Spanglish friends, is sending automated messages in your own voice. So one of our team members yesterday had a call with someone that I got to eavesdrop on. I was listening to the recording, and guess what came up? AI. Exactly. No big surprise here. So the person my team member was talking to literally said, I would love AI to send out automated messages for me, as long as it still sounded like me, because there's such a stigma about using AI, and I don't want to give up the way I sound. And that's exactly it. This prospect nailed it on the head. This is exactly what coaches need, because she's right. There is a lot of stigma around AI, and nobody wants another bot generated text message or spammy DM in their LinkedIn inbox. And coaches, they are some of the people who get pitched the most. And so they don't want to sound robotic. They don't want to look like these generated messages that are annoying them. And you definitely don't want some generic chatbot energy trying to grow your business, right? We know energy is everything. And so why would you put something generic out there in a big way? Again, just because AI can spam a lot of people, should it? Should that be our approach? So when you can use an algorithm for automated, not generative AI, then you can start to reach people consistently without giving up your integrity, your alignment, or your unique brand and voice. So we want to use AI to automate, again, do more of what's working, not try to make it up on our own and try to think about how should Hannah pitch this person. So what we do is we now have an AI algorithm that plugs directly into our outreach system. And this helps take our genius to the masses, because we know how important personalized outreach is. And so we've been able to continue this kind of private, invite-only messaging that lets coaches into our program, but we can still play the volume game. So we now are able to reach 700 to 900 new potential leads every single week, thanks to how we're using AI as an algorithm. And then we have automated messages that are literally my voice. We actually use a video that gets to those people, and then we get to hand select which ones we want to invite down our client acquisition journey or down our funnel for, using common language that you're probably familiar with. And I love this because I am literally at the beach, in the sea when we enroll people, whereas I used to have to be on LinkedIn or on my phone manually sending messages, manually following up, manually sending an email that says, hey, do you want to get started? Hey, do you want to pay this invoice? Or come to my webinar or go through my long quiz email sequence. So now I'm literally just generating new attention and sending out an automated literal video, literal voice message. We have clients who use voice message. Some clients also still use text-based outreach, and AI just helps it get to more people. Amplify, volume, and yeah, it literally feels too easy, almost illegal. When we started using AI to, like I joke about now, like print money, it felt like, I even had my business partner look into what are the laws around this, because it feels so easy, and for so many years I was doing so much manual work just to get 3 people to sign up for a webinar and then have none of them show up. So finally my work was going towards conversion, and it felt really good, but also, can it be this good, right? We all have those upper limit problems when things feel this easy. So when you're able to take your messaging, your genius, and your voice to 700 new people every week, just think about that for you. How much you probably struggle like I did to just get 10 likes. Well, now we get 700 people, A, knowing I exist, and then B, getting a little bit of information about who I am so that they can decide whether or not they want to engage with our messaging. So when I first used this system with Ore, we booked 10 market research calls in the first 7 days because we just played the numbers game thanks to AI, and we had 10 calls just automatically booked onto our calendar. And so that volume, thanks to AI, paired with our proven client acquisition system, 5 of those people naturally became paying clients. So there was zero awkward AI, is this a robot? And even just going into those messy, I know there's other automations that can help you reach more people, but then it bans you and then you get an Instagram jail and then it's just been so messy every other time I've tried to do something. But now with AI, I'm able to just take what works, my alignment, my energy, my voice, and see people asking me how to work together. And this is the beauty of getting out of your warm market. These are not referrals, right? These are new people who's like, hey, as a lifelong marketing guy, your messaging resonated with me. I finally got to reach new people. And when they saw my messaging, thanks to AI, handing it out to them, they said, I would like to start marketing, but I'm not sure how to reach that market. Okay, I know I can help with that. Someone else is like, let's do it. Let me know if you can start even earlier than Monday. These are the kinds of things that I was waking up to, not tech headaches, not email sequences, not webinar slides that I didn't know if they were going to work or not. And like I said, I was tickled. It was amazing to just see this kind of volume, people coming in without me doing all of the old stuff that burned me out. It felt like magic. And of course, then I had to take this to my people, and we see the same results happening for our clients, right? Again, it's not them wondering, where's this next client coming from, or I hope that my webinar converts. They're just showing up and booking clients, which means they get to focus on their actual zone of genius, coaching these people, not stuck in webinar Canva AI land. All right, so for numero dos, let's talk about refining your messaging to get that easy yes. Because I often think about the volume game or consistency like doing squats in the gym, where again, you can go in and do 100 squats really fast and have your knees wobbling all over the place and get it done and say, I did 100 squats. But if you keep doing that every single day or every single quarter or even, you're gonna hurt your knees. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean you're doing it right. And I see the same thing with coaches and their brand, where they're out here posting every single day, doing their squats, but their messaging and their positioning and their form is all off, and so it's really hurting their brand. It's doing more to injure their brand than to strengthen their brand. And most coaches know this. Most coaches know that messaging is a challenge because of the nature of the work that we do being so hard to package, hard to communicate. So message refinement is another way that we use AI in our business, and it's another one of my favorite things ever. Because, again, if you are like me from 3 years ago, you're probably stuck in the back of your head wondering why people aren't turning into clients. You're desperately trying to promote your next retreat or your course or your signature framework, or maybe I'll give them free discovery calls. Like, I was just racking my brain for what could get them to bite, because I wasn't getting consistent sales. And so what I have realized is that I was so in my head that I wasn't actually listening to my market. I wasn't really knowing what they would buy when they were also sitting around on their side of the computer wondering, where's my next client coming from? Can someone help me automate more leads? So what happens when we're all just in our heads and not communicating is that we as the business owner just end up hearing and seeing crickets. Or worse, the endless, let me think about it, right? You have people who are like, yeah, like a boot camp to get more joy. That sounds good, but maybe I'll start in the new year. Or let me talk to my partner. Or can you do it for cheaper, right? All of that stuff happens when you don't have easy yes messaging. So I was in this boat too. I mean, there's someone I followed up with 17 times. Every time I'd go back into the email, I'm like, oh, maybe this person will be my next client. Let me shake them out of the bushes. And this long chain of emails was just always another excuse, another smoke and mirror, another maybe next month response. And so if you're anything like me and you start to look at the things that you're doing, everything you're putting into your business, all the time, resources, money, emails I put in to get inconsistency back, it burned me out to the point where I was crying on my bathroom floor and thinking I should just go get a job. This is not worth being a coach. This is not worth having my own business over because I can't even reach people, but I'm burning myself out trying to. So I never want you to go through that pain because it's incredibly simple. What got me off of that bathroom floor and on my way to scaling to 7 figures in a year was simply speaking to my market. That is what got my messaging in place. So once I learned that and I cracked that code for myself, again, I asked, well, how can AI help me get more of these results and systematize this? So my business partner, Ori, and I constructed an AI system that lets our clients conduct 20 market research calls in their first 30 days. This is actually even a guarantee that we give all of our new clients. Like, we guarantee you will be talking to 20 targeted leads in your first month, because many of the times they do turn into sales. So many of the coaches I talk to every week say, Hannah, if you just give me the right people, I close like 80% of my discovery calls. And so that's what we do. I listen to you guys and I say, okay, here are 20 of those qualified leads. Let's see how many that you can close. And along the way, we are mining the data that AI needs to do more of what works. So instead of just guessing what your audience wants, instead of just manifesting, I'm gonna just, be in the right energetic state. If I just meditate more, then my marketing campaign will land in my lap. No. I tried for years. I did hypnosis. I did feng shui. I did EFT tapping. I did like everything that I could to try to manifest this clarity for myself. But the only time I got it was by following this process. Literally listening to the exact words coming out of ideal clients' mouths. It is that easy. It is right there. You do not need another spiritual sabbatical. You just need literally a Zoom subscription or a cell phone. Then we take that data from those market research or from those first 20 calls and get it organized with the help of AI. So instead of letting the old Zoom recordings just sit in a folder next to your webinar graveyard, we take those Zoom transcripts into AI, not to write the copy, not to write follow-up emails, not to write a book, but just to extract data, to help us see the market's patterns. the pain points, what they say they want, their dream outcomes, and their objections. So I literally ask, on our market research calls, like, what would have you not invest in help? What would you avoid, right? Again, because then I can position myself differently. And this is how we get to the easy yes, by simply taking what people want and giving it to them. Because all you need to do as a coach, consultant, or an expert is simply reflect back the truth of what your audience told you. You are the expert, so you have to think about translating what they need into their language. And AI can help you organize these data points. And when I was first doing this, I had pages of prospects with crystal clear notes, right? I was like, you're all saying the same thing. I have all of these notes. I know what you want. I know what you fear. And now I know what you would happily pay for because I asked. And so when our clients started posting and pitching from that place, it was a total game changer for them as well. One of our clients, Leslie, implemented the same strategy that we give all of our clients now and had a CRM full of people from LinkedIn who needed her help. So Leslie, she was someone who hadn't had a new client in a couple of months, but she had all this content out. She had a podcast, she had a healthy hypnosis hour live event she hosted, but she did not have anyone to make an offer to. No one wanted to invest in her high ticket program, but after just a week of running this in May, the 21 days. Okay, so after, let's say, a month of running this strategy in May, she had dozens of people to call, follow up with, and make offers to. And again, Leslie is good at what she does. But, so she could convert some of these people, which we'll get to. But before she had this pipeline and this clarity, she was leaking $12,000 per month, doing all of those other things like paying team, paying a virtual assistant, hosting those monthly events, and signing no clients, because she didn't have new people or a strategy to convert them. So the same old people just kept coming to her free stuff. They just wanted more free stuff. They couldn't afford the upsell. She was stuck giving away free value and starting to feel really resentful, like I did, for how much she was putting out and not receiving any cash back. Let's be honest. We need money to sustain these businesses and these missions that we're on. And so all of this was just really draining her energy. And she looked around like I did. Okay, I have these lead magnets, I have email sequences, and she had a huge mess in her Go High Level account. And so when we finally just made it simple, and she was like, it's a retired smart woman, someone who has good experience in job tech. She was so excited because they had finally converted. And this is even someone who, was a podcast listener, who had been used to seeing Leslie's free value. But when we nailed Leslie's messaging, thanks to talking to all of these people, we were even able to convert some of the existing people in her audience with ease. And the crazy part about Leslie is that she was so desperate for enrollments that she was even making like $150 an hour offers, kind of like just charging hourly on her website. And she had people thinking that's how much she's going to cost, just $150 per hour. But when we changed her messaging, this person actually paid $4,500 USD. So Leslie continued to scale. She hit a 50K month, again, continuing to just let this system hum in the background. And this is because her messaging is rooted in marketing reality. And Leslie is someone who has a fluffy offer. It's hypnosis. It's personal development. It's feel good in your body. She's not out here promising lose 10 pounds in 30 seconds and become a body lifter, bodybuilder, weightlifter, all of those things. It is more of that mindset, hypnosis type of offer. But we had to root her messaging in the market's reality, and that's what she was able to do by just getting in conversation. And now she sees how it can scale because of AI helping us craft her messaging and then get it out to the right people. And you can do that too, right? This is what we do at Dream Life is Real Life. And it's not because we're out here generating content to help hack the algorithm. I think you get I am anti-webinar, anti-quizzes. And we're not doing any of that because it only burns us out and it doesn't actually work. all that we use AI for when it comes to our sales and converting clients is, number one, using AI to create spreadsheets of potential clients that we can talk to, right? Just like I showed you Leslie's CRM. And then number two, to document what our clients' problems are, what they actually want, and what they would pay for. Just those three things. And then with our system, we're just amplifying that every single week. So we continue to work this same exact strategy even at 7 figures because it works. Now, that's just like a little sidebar for all of you entrepreneurs. When you find something that works, ask yourself the question of, how can I make this more efficient? How can I build a system around it? How can AI help me do more of what works? Not, how can I make this easier? Should I come up with some new idea? Should I write a book, right? Like the entrepreneur's Achilles heel is, how can I break this? You find something that works and then you don't want to believe it. But I told you, I had that saying like, oh my gosh, is this legal? Can it be this good? It's about continuing to let the system hum, not mucking it up. Okay? So what we get to do when we continue to let the system work is enjoy the outcomes of process goals, of the compound effect. So now we continue to reach out to hundreds of people every single week. We collect some market research data so that we can keep speaking the language of high ticket clients. Let's be real, this does evolve. The messaging that we used in 2024 is not the same messaging that we're using 17 months later. But it's easy because I'm listening to people every single week. My team is talking to people every single week. I continue to get data and I continue to be an easy yes just because I'm listening to the market. And this is what I want you to do as well. Do not expect AI can take over your business or write your business plan or give you your marketing messaging. It's not going to save your business. By the way, no one is coming to save you. It's going to have to be you. By the way, no one is coming to save you. Not another mentor, not another marketing shiny object, not someone who's going to come over and say, oh my gosh, let me take your most magical coaching idea into this enchanted land of QVC or something like that, right? You have to be the one to start to train your AI agents to do more of what is going to convert clients. And you're not going to be able to scale until you have the right systems in place. So I hope this video helps you see what to do today. Number one, get booking calls with the right people. And number two, get listening and extracting the data that they give you, because this is what has us printing money. And I want to see the same happen for you. So let me know what questions you have in the comments below, and cheers to growth.